Welcome to episode 102 of the Woolly Thistle podcast, coming to you from the gorgeous state of New Hampshire. Today is Friday, August 23rd, and I'm your host, Corinne. The Woolly Thistle brings your favourite yarns from the UK and Europe and makes them easily accessible in North America. At thewoollythistle.com, you will find the best of British yarn, such as Blacker, Uist Wool, and Jamieson and Smith, to name a few. You will also find yarns from Scandinavia, including Ulcentrum, Plötulopi, Rauma, and Tuku Wool. At the Woolly Thistle, we encourage woolly wanderlust, and we share information about where the wool was grown and milled. We specialise in finding yarn made at the source, whether that be on wild Scottish islands or in the Devon countryside. We find it and share it with you. With excellent customer service and beautiful yarns to peruse, you will love shopping at thewoollythistle.com. That's 2 L's in woolly. The Woolly Thistle welcomes and seeks out customers, designers, authors, and yarn makers of all backgrounds, ethnicities, cultures, locations, ages, and orientations who possess a love of wool and craft. We value your work and your contribution to making the Woolly Thistle a safe community. You are welcome here. Let the Woolly Thistle do the international shipping, so you don't have to. Thank you, new and returning listeners. It's great to be here with you again. I hope you're keeping well and have been having a good summer. It's August now. We're getting into the end of August, and it's been really hot here. Although nighttime and sleeping weather has been really, really good. I love that about August. So I've been knitting a lot, and I wonder if you have too. I think you have. The shop is busy, and I have been busy knitting as much as I can. I kind of went through a bit of a slump. After I finished the last sweater I knitted some smaller projects, and I don't know, I guess it was just too hot and I was too busy. I was still knitting every day, but there might have been a day or two in between where I just couldn't get to it. So I feel good that I am back to full-on knitting all the time, every chance I get. And I'll tell you about that soon. So yeah, thank you for listening. And if this is your first time visiting the audio podcast, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. This little podcast has been going for 5 years next month. As you know, maybe I just started a YouTube channel where I have a video shop update on the opposite Friday to the audio podcast. So yeah, I am busy with all of that, but I hope you're enjoying it. And I hope you subscribe to both my channels, this one here on iTunes or Apple Podcast and over on YouTube. That would be really appreciated. And that way, all this blethering and talking and preparing is all worth it. The best way to keep in touch with us at The Woolly Thistle is through our newsletter, and you can sign up for that at thewoollythistle.com. Of course, I just mentioned YouTube is a great place to see what's new in the shop and see me talking about what's new in the shop and what I particularly love to share with you. And of course, Instagram. We're very active on Instagram too. So all of that is at The Woolly Thistle. This episode includes Off the Needles, On the Needles, KAL News, and a Woolly Thistle shop update. So let's get started, shall we? Off the needles. I think I told you last time that I had finished knitting the Sweater KAL, and that was true, but I still had to sew in all the ends, weave them all in, and I did that. And then I blocked it, and then I Kitchenered it together, but I also 3-needle binded off together. So this is a cowl, it's knitted in a tube, and you join the two ends together at the end to make it an infinity scarf, basically. And this is by Marie Wallen from her Shetland book, and it's absolutely beautiful. I love it. And it's knitted in Jameson Spindrift, which is a fingering weight, very woolly Shetland wool. And I don't know what I was thinking. I started off doing a 3-needle bind off to join the two ends together, which actually gives you a very lovely straight seam. You know, you can use it for shoulders and you get a lovely seam there if you're joining things at the shoulders. So I used it for half or so of the cowl. But then when I couldn't continue to do that because the needles would have to be inside the cowl at that point. So I ended up Kitchenering it. And I think the reason I started with a 3-needle bind off was I just felt nervous of Kitchenering the whole thing. I'm not very good at Kitchenering, and a toe can be quite challenging. So to do a whole cowl felt a little too much. Also knitting with or Kitchenering with the yarn, which is 100% wool, you know, sometimes you just want to yank on that and make it nice and tight. And I was scared I'd break it. But as it turns out, I shouldn't have worried, because by the time I was Kitchenering it, it was totally fine. And it actually looks better than the 3-needle bind off. But it's August and it's hot, and I didn't feel like going back and redoing it all. It'll be hidden behind my neck anyway. So I'm very happy with it. I did in the end, even though I waffled on forever about doubling the size of this to make it so that it could go around my neck 2 times, I ended up finishing it where it was called to be finished by Marie Wallen and her pattern, because, you know, who am I to improve upon Marie Wallen, right? She is amazing. And I'm really, really happy with it. When I put it on, it's got a nice light feeling. It's not too claustrophobic around my neck. And I think I'm going to wear it a lot. And I do see a theme coming together in my knitting of the recent past, and as I look forward to this winter season, which is quite exciting because I see a lot of greens, pinks, which are my 2 favorite colors, and I see them coming together in different shades of those colors. And this Sweater KAL pulls a lot of those colors in. So this is going to be a great accessory that I can wear with all my pieces. And I'm looking forward to maybe showing you all my knitting of late all together to sort of show you like a wardrobe piece. I think I'll do that soon. And it's informing how I'm making my color choices in the projects I've got coming up as well. So that's pretty exciting. And not necessarily planned, but now that I'm seeing it, I am going with it. Do you do that? I have always been a process knitter who really enjoyed the finished product. But I feel like I'm still a process knitter, but I feel like I'm trying to make better decisions about what I have as a finished product at the end. So I want to be able to wear it a lot. I want to feel comfortable in it. I want it to feel really good and be something that I would buy and not something I'm wearing because I made it, if that makes sense. I'm not sure if that makes sense. I want it to really speak to me and not just because I made it. I want to really like the look of it. So yeah, that's sort of my plan going forward, which is very broad, but also gives me a little bit more direction. So what do? Have you found yourself not wearing things that you've knitted because you enjoyed knitting them, but you don't necessarily want to wear them? And if that happens to you, what sort of projects are they? I'd love to know. I'd love to know examples of things that you just kept bringing yourself to wear, that you have knitted, that you really enjoyed knitting, and you knitted it because, I don't know, you had to knit it right then and there, or it was the hot thing to knit at the time, or the yarn was a particularly exciting yarn to you, but then after it was all done, or maybe you didn't even get it finished, because I think that can happen too, is you kind of go off the boil. So I'd love to know these stories. Do tell me. Yeah, so August has been a really great month in the shop. I'm so surprised how busy we are. So keep that up. I love it. Thank you so much. And we are working hard to get ready for September and the ensuing fall. Really looking forward to this season. I've got a wonderful team in place, and we will be growing again as well. We are looking now for an assistant to help out me and Tina, who is my operations manager, and we'll be posting that job. So if you're in the New Hampshire area in the Upper Valley, if by any chance you're looking for a part-time job, get in touch. But we will be adding to our team real soon. which is very exciting, and it's very needed to keep us all sane here as we go into our busy time. On the needles, I am knitting Tegna by Caitlin Hunter in John Arbon Textiles Devonia 4-ply, and I'm halfway through the lace chart. It's a bottom-up sweater. Everybody knows it, and it's got lace around the waist, and I'm halfway through that, and I love knitting this yarn. I knew I would, but I'm loving it even more than I thought because, well, first of all, it's a 4-ply, and I'm knitting it on US 7s, so it's got a lovely loose gauge. Then it's a blend of 3 different Devonian sheep breeds that are found locally in Devon, which include the, let me see if I can do this off the top of my head, the Exmoor Horn, the Blueface Leicester, and Wensleydale. I think those are the 3. And so you've got this long staple yarn that's beautifully milled and spun and dyed. And you end up with this kind of drapey, fluffy yarn that I think is so pretty on the needles right now. And everybody always says, oh, lace looks like barf when you're knitting. I love this. It looks so gorgeous. I have to take a picture and I'll post it. It's just looking so inviting. And I know once I get past the lace section and it's just stockinette, we'll fly through that. But I think the finished object will be really swishy. It will have really good drape, but it'll also have this really soft halo to it, which is a great combination. I'm planning to knit mine with 3/4 length or bracelet length sleeves. I'm really enjoying knitting it, really, really enjoying it. This is the one that I did a big swatch for because I couldn't believe that there was such a variation in the needles used to get gauge. Caitlin mentioned this in her pattern that everybody went from a US 3 to a US 7, and I indeed had to knit with a US 7 to get gauge, but it's producing such a lovely fabric. I'm really happy with it, and I am going to be quite happy knitting on that for now until whenever it gets finished. And I'm knitting it in the Broken Flower colorway, which is a lovely soft pink. It's not a baby pink, it's a more mature, sophisticated pink. Almost a dusky pink, but not quite. It's got probably more yellow tones to it, I'm guessing. And so anyway, the color really does it for me. I think it's going to go great with my cowl and with other pieces I have. And it's going to be great for springtime being that color, but I can also wear it in the fall as well. I don't know when I'll finish it because it seems to me that I'm knitting a lot of sweaters again. And so that slows things down, but I'm going to really enjoy knitting that. So yeah, watch out for more progress of that as we inch our way up the lace pattern, and then it'll be all stockinette all the way. But I am absolutely loving this yarn. And I plan on the next shop update on YouTube to show all the colors of Devonia. A lovely viewer asked me to do that, and I'm more than happy to do it because I really love this yarn. So, and I have more coming in the shop. So if it seems like I'm short, more is coming. But there is plenty in the shop too. So it just depends how much you might need for a project. I'm also knitting on a sweater in worsted weight, which is unusual for me. And this is in Tidal Yarns. It's the Comfort Tee. Is it the Comfort Sweater? It's more a sweater than a tee. This is a full sleeve, full on sweater with a cute little pocket that I'll be getting to soon. It's all in one color except for the bottom band is a contrasting color. And this is by Patricia, who is Tidal Yarns, and she, I think, is in Connecticut, goes to all the shows, doesn't do a whole lot of selling online as far as I know. She has all her yarns sourced locally to her and taken to Green Mountain Spinnery where it's beautifully spun up. And I'm a big fan of Patricia's, and this is my 4th sweater that I've knitted from her and thoroughly enjoying it. It's going really fast, though I haven't touched it since I showed it on the shop update because I've been getting going on the Tegna. But I will get back to that too. That's something I could probably be wearing in a week or 2 if I really put my mind to it. Well, I don't need to because it's too hot to wear it yet, but it won't be long before that's finished. That's what's so nice when you're used to knitting in fingering weight all the time, and then you knit something in worsted, it practically knits itself. I'm planning to cast on the Café de Flore in St. Kilda by Blacker Yarns. And this is a pattern by Virginia Sattler-Reimer, who is Ginny SR on Instagram, and I believe on Ravelry too. Go check out this lovely, elegant little pattern for a lovely neck scarf. And I'll be knitting that in St. Kilda, so I'll be casting that on soon. I have yet to knit in my St. Kilda. I had quite a bit in stash. I say that. I had two very precious skeins in stash from the original lot that I had got a couple of years ago. And I'm sorry if my voice is breaking up. So much talking these days. I had stashed that away for a special project, but that project never came to me. And then a friend was in need of 2 more skeins to finish her project, and I had the same yarn that she was using. So she took that, which was great, and she was able to finish her project. So I have the new lighter color in my stash now, and that's what I'll knit the Café de Flore with. And I think this is going to be such a lovely little piece that's natural color and will go with everything as a result. So I'm looking forward to that. And of course, I'll get to this, but the Woolly Thistle second annual KAL, Sweater KAL, starts today. And I've been planning and plotting what I'm going to knit for that through the week. And I have been swatching, and I think I've come to a decision. I'll be knitting the Cambridge sweater by the Knitting Union. And Knitting Union is a group of lovely designers, 3 of them, who have got together and are publishing their patterns under the group name Knitting Union. And they're participating in our KAL. And when I was having a look through, the Cambridge really spoke to me. So go have a look at that. It is cable and lace piece, and it's actually knitted in Aran weight. I don't have anything like that in the shop, so I decided to go with Wool Centrum, which is a light worsted weight and quite a different gauge. This is such a well-written pattern. It has the schematic and it has all the measurements on there. And I was able to take a really big swatch knitting Wool Centrum, and I've been able to work out what size of the pattern I should knit to get the desired size that I want. So I'm really chuffed with myself. It's not often that I really get into the nitty-gritty like that and change things up, but I felt like this was a really easy one to do. So it's an all-over lace and cable design on the body, on the front and back. It's a drop shoulder, and then the sleeves are just stuck in it. And it looks really sharp. I'm going to knit mine a little bit shorter than what the pattern calls for. It's going to have ease. Yeah, I'm really thinking it's going to be nice. And now I just have to decide what color of Wool Centrum I'm going to knit it in. I have a really bright green in stock right now, and depending if that goes with my coloring, my complexion and so on, I might go with that, which is very daring, but I'm being drawn to it. Or there's a lovely gold on grey, which would be super duper as well. And of course, there's always the neutrals. So yeah, I haven't made a decision yet, and I need to do that. I swatched with some leftover Wool Centrum that I had from knitting, I think it was an antler hat a while back. And so I had some of that, and I just swatched until I ran out of yarn, which was nice and quick because, again, it's worsted weight. So this is going to knit up really quickly, I think. I'm really getting into swatching, I think, since the Tegna. And oftentimes I will knit a sleeve as a swatch. You know, if the pattern allows me to start at the bottom of the sleeve rather than top down, I will start a sleeve and call that my swatch. But where in this pattern, it's a stockinette sleeve and the gauge is given for the actual pattern, I had to swatch the pattern. And they do say in the pattern, you know, take a little time to save a lot of time. And I think that that is really true. So I did do that, and I blocked it, and I have my measurements, and I'm fairly confident that I'm going to knit something that fits me. Wouldn't that be nice? Because we all know what I do. I always knit things too big. So here's hoping that the 2 sweaters I have going, the 3 sweaters I have going now, or will have going, will all fit. That would be really fantastic. Yeah, 3 sweaters on the go. I must be crazy, but I love it. So yeah, that's what I'm swatching on, and I will be sharing more about that on the update when I get to that next week. So let's move right into the KAL news. I am still co-hosting a Marie Wallin KAL, so don't forget about that. That's going all the way to Rhinebeck, and I'm co-hosting that with my friends Emily of Fibertown, Sarah of Yarns at Yinhu, which is an audio podcast, and Sarah of Fiber Trek. And the four of us are hosting this in our various mediums. I'm doing mine all on Instagram, and my Burra KAL was my entry for that officially. I was really toying with the idea of knitting a Yell cardigan out of her Shetland book, out of Marie Wallin's Shetland book for the KAL. But for now, I'm going to hold off on that, primarily because I don't have the yarn for it, and we are still waiting for that to come in, but I think it'll be in the next week or so. As soon as I get it in, we will be putting it in the shop. So if your plan is to knit a Yell for our KAL, it's almost here, and I'm sure it will be okay if you, if you really want it to hold off until it comes in, and we'll get it out to you as fast as we can. So that's the Marie Wallin KAL, and that goes on until Rhinebeck. And then, of course, tonight or today, we're starting the Woolly Thistle's second Sweater KAL. Last year we did this and had a lot of fun with many sweater designers contributing discounts on their patterns and pattern prizes for the end of the KAL. And we're doing that again, and we've got some phenomenal people contributing patterns and discounts, including people like Gudrun Johnson, Michelle Wang, Jennifer Steingass. We have the Knitting Union, of course, that I mentioned. We have lots and lots of different designers, Nora Gone, loads. So do go check out the thread in our Ravelry group, where you will find all the designers who are participating along with their discounts. And sometimes they've provided us a bundle saying, click on this. This is where you can apply your discounts to. We have one discount code, which you'll get in the Ravelry group. And you can use that for whichever pattern you buy from whichever designer. They're all using the same discount code. And they are setting their own dates for the discount. So I'm sure many of them are still going right now, even though the KAL is starting. They know there's always some people running in at the last minute. And yes, I'm still shopping myself. So go take advantage of those. And they're not all sweater patterns in there either. I actually just bought a hat pattern, and there's all kinds of good stuff in there. So it just depends on what the designer wants to discount for us. So that's great. And so casting on today, and we will have a cast on prize of 3 different patterns from Tori Searstad, who is Tori wrote on Ravelry, and she's from Norway, and she has been a friend of the Woolly Thistle and New Hampshire Knits for as long as forever, really. And so she's offering up 3 patterns for people casting on today. So be sure to post your cast on picture in the thread so that we can get that going, and we'll announce winners once we've had our cast on day complete. I'm so excited about this. It's really going to be fun. I'm planning to participate as much as I can, and also just zoom in and sprinkle some fairy dust and gifts and discounts, or I don't know what will reward the chatter in the chatter thread, because I want people to be able to go there with their knitting problems and, asking for help. Last year, we had a lot of brand new knitters, or brand new sweater knitters, and it was really a safe environment for them to knit their first sweater. And we hatched so many new sweater knitters last year. I hope we do that again. And maybe also they're back to knit another sweater, having learned a lot over the last year. So yes, if you know a lot, please join us and give your expertise. We really value that. And if you're new or nervous about joining a KAL or knitting a sweater, this is the KAL for you to jump in, because we're a friendly bunch and we're very relaxed, and we do try to help out, and we definitely cheer each other on. So come join us. So yeah, the KAL starts today and it goes through October 20th, which is Rhinebeck weekend. That's a good 8 weeks, and not all of us will finish our sweater in that time, and that's okay. We just want to get knitting on sweaters, and all the rules, such as they are in the Ravelry group. Please be a member of our Ravelry group to participate. And if you have any questions about anything, just leave a message and we'll get back to you. And now it's time for the Woolly Thistle update. As always, the Woolly Thistle's doing great, keeping me busy and keeping me out of trouble, I hope. We really appreciate you shopping with us, though. So thank you so much for checking out the Woolly Thistle, whether you're just window shopping and visiting, or if you're actually shopping with us. We appreciate it all so much. And when you share your purchases on Instagram with the Woolly Thistle hashtag, it's so much fun for us to see where these lovely yarn babies have gone off to. And you help spread the word about the Woolly Thistle. So thank you for that. And thanks for watching and enjoying the Woolly Thistle shop update on YouTube. I'm really having fun with it, although this week I did have to do a couple of edits because I said Jamieson and Smith 2-ply jumper weight is a worsted spun yarn. And as soon as I heard myself say that, I knew it was wrong. So I had to put a little caption up on the screen, and that meant figuring out how on earth you even do that. No idea, because last week I just hit record and put up what I recorded, and I hope there wasn't any mistakes in that. But if they are, they're there. So yeah, there was a couple of mistakes or a couple of, mishaps or what have you that I had to edit this time. And that took a little bit longer. And then once I got it up on YouTube, I had further technical difficulties. Can't tell you what they were, but they were crazy. And I had to work through that. So it might have been late Saturday before the thing ever really posted properly. But like everything, I will get better with time and practice. And it's fun. It's really fun to see people I know watching and to meet new people who are watching there who maybe have never listened to the podcast and might be quite new to the shop as well. So it's just another way to reach out and say hello and show you the gorgeous yarn that we have here at the Woolly Thistle. So thanks for your support of that. Make sure you subscribe and tell your friends. And don't watch me on a giant TV. Oh my God, I just can't think about that. So the next shop update will include John Arbon Textiles Devonia 4-ply. I think I'll show you a sampling of Knit by Numbers DK and also their book that they have out right now. So it'll be a John Arbon shop update as well as Ul Centrum. I'm going to show you what stock I have for colours and show you a little bit about that yarn because I've knitted a couple of things and I'm planning to knit a project with it, like I mentioned. So I thought that would be a good one to highlight. And I have some new things coming to the shop, so I'll be showing those as well. So if you have any requests of things you'd like to see, I really appreciate hearing that because it helps give me some direction. I might not be able to show you it the next time, but I will get to showing it to you. I'm happy to hear from you. In fact, I encourage it, and let me know what you'd like to see. Our brand new yarn, Armscott Manor DK from Stratford-on-Avon in Warwickshire in England is doing really well. It's had a lovely reception, so thank you for that. We have 4 natural shades, and this is the Portland wool, which is a very rare breed, and it's a creamy white. And this particular farm also has some Black Welsh Mountain, which is one of my favourite breeds. I remember when Uist Wool had Black Welsh Mountain in, and it was gorgeous. I think I kept a skin for myself. And actually, no, I think I bought that when I was in Uist a couple of years ago. So I do need to knit with that. But anyway, I digress. So Black Welsh Mountain is a lovely dark, bitter chocolate brown colour. And when you blend that with the Portland, which is cream, you get grey. It's crazy. But you do. And they have 2 lovely shades of grey, one lighter, one darker, which is perfect for colour work. I've also seen some photos of this yarn knitted up in textures, whether it be baubles or cables or other textured stitches, and it really pops. So this is an all-round, very good, hardy yarn. It's not the softest yarn, but we're okay with that. It's a beautiful yarn. So thank you for welcoming it, and do check it out if you haven't caught that yet. I showed it on the shop update too. Also just in the shop is Black Elephant, and we have 100% Blueface Leicester from her. It's a superwash yarn and it's a sock yarn, so you can knit socks with it. It should be hardy enough for that. And it's also very soft and you can knit beautiful shawls. I was thinking one of Andrea Mowry's mosaic patterns would be really good with this because I've got some solids and there's definitely a lot of patterned yarn as well. So I have 20 different colorways. Some of them, like I said, are more tonal and others are on the very colorful side, but they're all beautiful. And so do check that out. That's just in the shop, so your choice is best right now. And that was grown and spun and dyed all in the UK. Let's have a Marie Wallen update. We have all her British breeds yarn in, except for 1 or 2. I think 2 are out of stock already. But we are getting a whole lot more coming in. We're going to have this in good supply. The beginning of September is my hope that I'll receive that. And we have her Wildwood book, which of course features the Hawthorn cardigan on the front. We have kits for those. Once we get the yarn back in, we'll have kits for Hawthorn in all the sizes the pattern's written for. And we'll also have kits for the tam, the walnut tam. Or you can just buy the yarn individually and buy the book. The kits that I'm making up include the book if you don't have it already. We are also waiting with such eagerness for the Spindrift to get here. It should be here real soon. I'm hoping by the time you hear this, it's either going in the shop or I have news of it being in real soon. And the Spindrift is so that we can get the kits back in the shop from the Shetland book, which include Yell, Bressa, the Borough Cowl, the Scary Mittens, and the Scalloway Tam. And I'm also including brand new, the Unst cardigan. That is one I might want to knit, actually. God, there's so much. So it's an all over Fair Isle. It's from her Shetland book as well. And there's no reason not to include it because I'll have all the colors. So we're going to include that as a kit as well. So all of that will be in the shop as soon as humanly possible. Just waiting for that to come down the pike. And you know that Marie has written another collection for Jameson Spindrift. It's called Meadows, and its release date will be October 1st, and I will be selling that book, and I can't wait to see it. I haven't seen it yet. I've seen little sneaky peeks of the projects on Marie Wallen's Instagram, and they look gorgeous, gorgeous. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm working to get all the yarn I need in Spindrift for that collection. So I know that you'll be looking forward to that as well. And then on December 1st, her new British Breeds collection, Gentle, will be out, but that's not for a while yet. But we will make sure we are all good to go for that as well. Her book, Shetland, is back in stock, and so we shouldn't have any problem getting you that if that's what you want to order. Yeah, so I think we've got a lot going on with Marie's yarn, patterns, books, and with the Jameson Spindrift as well. A few of you have reached out that you want a kit in MJ Mucklestone's Vo vest and her other vest that was for Craftsy originally, and I would like to do that. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, both of those are in Jameson DK. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? So I'm trying to figure out the colors. You know, I can do the original colors that she had, but it'd be nice if we mixed it up a little bit and had a choice of kit colors. So I am looking into that. It takes a little while to get it right, so we'll see about that. But that is definitely on my radar and trying to happen. Blacker yarns. We got in Lioness, DK, and 4-ply in as much stock as I could get over here. So do check that out. The Shifting Sands pattern, which was designed by Nora Gone and in the latest Making magazine, has really caused a stir for Blacker Lioness, and quite rightly so. It's a gorgeous sweater. And you know I love that yarn. I was wearing my Calyx sweater on the last update, which I knitted in Blacker Lioness. I love it. It looks good. It drapes well, and it just gets better with age. It's a 50-50 wool linen blend. So it's not hard on your fingers while you're knitting, but it's got all that drape to it and that kind of shine that linen has. And the colors that Blacker made their palette is just beautifully gentle. Just really nice. So that's in stock, and also both of the natural shades of St. Kilda, which I mentioned to you before, which of course is a really special, rare yarn right from the sheep who live wild on the Isle of St. Kilda. That's the Soe sheep and the Brore sheep, and both of those are kind of feral. The people left the island a long time ago. So we have both those colors in stock right now. And if you're interested, do check that out. You can knit garments. I think a hap would be heirloom quality in this. It would be something that would last forever and be loved long after the knitting was done. Or, like I'm going to knit the Café de Flore pattern by Jenny SR on Instagram. Go have a look and see. John Arbon's Devonia is in pretty good supply, and what we're short of, we will be topping up real soon. That order's on its way. And the Knit by Numbers DK is in good supply, and this is a great yarn. It's very inexpensive to buy from me right now. It's priced to sell, and it's a lovely round yarn, so it's great for cables. It's 100% merino, and it's organic. I mean, it's a fantastic yarn, and it comes in over 106 shades. So I would be looking for that if you're looking for something to bump up your stash with that you know you're going to knit with sometime. The most difficult thing about this yarn is which color to pick. The way they did it, they really have several colors, and then they have 6 shades of those colors within that color, going from dark to light. So, you can play with that and do stripes or color work, or you can knit just in one piece or do a gradient. There's so much you can do with that versatile yarn. So be checking that out right now because it's here, it's available, and it's priced to sell. I hate to mention the Christmas word right now, but I know many of you will be excited to know that West Yorkshire Spinners is coming out with a brand new Christmas colorway for their signature 4-ply sock yarn. And if last year's anything to go by, I will be ordering lots of it. There will be a choice of contrasting heels and toes colorways, some of which are already in general circulation. So I'm going to get all my ducks in a row, and as soon as I can order that, I will be ordering that and getting that started. It's very pretty, and it's got a lovely name, and that's all I can say right now. But yeah, keep your ears up for that. We are still running a huge promotion on Susan Crawford's Vintage Shetland project and her yarns Ixalana and Fenella. This is a 20% off discount, which you just don't get every day. And this will be coming to a close real soon. I've had it as a summer special, and you can get 20% off. Just go to your newsletter and you will find the code there. And I also have a bundle available of her 3 books, which individually cost a fortune, but if you buy all 3 together, you get a huge discount on them. And that is a really good library builder as well. Her Vintage Shetland project book it's phenomenal. It's going to stand the test of time. It took her 8 years to write, and she's a very industrious lady, so she wasn't messing around. This is a really fantastic book. So if you're at all in the market for that, I would grab it now before that discount goes away. Little Grey Sheep, we have Hampshire DK in many of the colors, and we still have a few of the mini sets left in 4-ply. The DK is a lovely, bouncy, fluffy yarn, grey, overdyed with dye by Emma of Little Grey Sheep. And this is just a beautiful yarn. And I showed that too, I think, on the update recently, the last update. We are in great supply with the Tuku fingering. We just got topped up with that with a very large order, actually, and that is in the shop. Unfortunately, they are out of Saki, which is the 01 cream colorway, so I can't get that. But everything else is in good supply and is in the shop. And we will be stocking up on the sock yarn soon as well. But that's in pretty good supply as it is right now. Rama is in good supply, but if there's a color we don't have that you would like, do let me know and we'll get it in for you. We have color cards for both the Finno Garn and the Strict Garn, which is helpful. Let Lopi and Flotolopi is in good supply right now, but I do think we'll have to be ordering that real soon for the fall coming and get that really well stocked up. Lastly, we have Line 9 pre-orders on sale right now, so be sure to order yours from the Woolly Thistle. We also have Pom Pom Quarterly number 30, their Seascape edition, so that is coming soon. That'll be going live on August 30th, but we are taking pre-orders for that. And I just got word that by hand serial number 10, which I believe will be in Montana, Big Sky Country, that will be coming down the pike real soon. So I've got those ordered to come in and have them ready when we can release that magazine. That is one that I will buy every single time for myself, because it's like the whole of the United States in fiber form. It's everything you need to know about a particular region of the US, and her photos are gorgeous, always. So yes, I'm very happy that that's coming out again already. I feel like it's come around really fast, actually, because I'm still on the Nova Scotia high, and we still have a few of those left. But yeah, so anyway, Montana is coming down the pike. Oh, and we have ziggurats back in stock now. So if you're interested in that, we finally got those back in. I think they were on back order for quite a while. So summer hours are coming to an end. After Labor Day, we will be back in the shop full time, all of us. And well, I'm the only full-time one. Everybody else is part-time, but we'll be here 5 days a week is what I'm trying to say after Labor Day. And we will be working hard to get you what you want and what you need for your knitting adventures. And we're really happy to help you out with that. We're always happy to send photos of color combinations that you would like. We talk a lot here about different color combos. When customers have questions, everybody gets their say and we all get involved. So it's not just one person's point of view that you get back. We're happy to do that. And yeah, let me know if there's stuff you want to see on the YouTube shop update. Happy to do that too. So yeah, we'll be back to full time after Labor Day. I hope that you have a wonderful end to your summer if I don't talk to you before then. Thank you so much for all your support to the Woolly Thistle. My daughter has been working here throughout the summer, 1 day a week. She's also babysitting a couple of days a week as well. But she has been here in the shop helping, and she has been seeing her mama working really hard, and she has been working hard here too. And it really is so empowering to be able to bring your daughter to work and show her a group of women working hard together and pulling in the same direction for something we all really believe in, really love and enjoy, and have customers who are the best, hands down. So thank you so much for all your support. It means the world to me. And I am happy and so happy to serve you. So just let us know what you need. I think that's all that's left to say now, is if you go out, take your knitting. See you next week on YouTube. Bye-bye. That's the end of another episode, but it doesn't have to be over. Thank you for listening to the Woolly Thistle podcast, brought to you by the Woolly Thistle online shop. You can find items discussed in this episode at thewoollythistle.com. That's 2 L's in Woolly. You can find our Ravelry group by searching for The Woolly Thistle. Find our podcast on iTunes or at thewoollythistle.com. You can speak to Corinne at hello@thewoollythistle.com. Follow The Woolly Thistle on Instagram at The Woolly Thistle, and join our newsletter for subscriber specials and all the news right on thewoollythistle.com.